Let's test my new favorite champion. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here, and I am super pumped to be talking about this new Shadowkin Michinaki. I don't think you pronounce it Michinaki, but maybe, okay? Anyway, I'm not a big fan of his name, but his art style is amazing. He reminds me of Skeletor from He-Man, and I just think that he looks super cool. I think his kit is amazing. In case you don't remember what it is, he has the A1 HP burn. He has the A2 AoE decreased defense and decreased attack as long as they have Hex. And then he has a double hitter, which does reasonable damage. The first hit removes all the buffs, and the second hit places Hex. And his passive I love as well. Whenever an ally attacks an enemy under Hex, this champion has a 50% chance to team up and join the ally's attack, as well as a defense in all battles aura and pretty good stats also. So I'm pretty pumped about this guy. One of the things that I was testing was the faction war damage. So let me pull up a couple pictures here for you. Okay, so I didn't want to actually go do the runs because that just takes a lot of time. But what I found was that his multipliers and his damage output is enough to carry you through Faction War Stage 20. Okay, admittedly, the rest of the team has decent gear on it, but you have to get damage from somewhere, okay? And so he was able to carry the team on his own. In addition to that, he had a higher damage output than both Genzen and Genbo. And I have them in reasonable damage gear, nothing crazy, but he outdamaged both of them. And I was pretty surprised about that. I didn't go through efforts to make sure they were geared exactly the same or anything, but I'm just saying he has a reasonable damage output, okay? Now, unfortunately, his multipliers I don't feel are good enough for him to be an arena nuker, but also since we're on the test server here, you can see everyone's teams are pretty hardcore, okay? And that's kind of a problem. But I can show you, here's the team that I was testing him with. Arbiter and Doomscreech, because we have an increased defense and the turn meter boost. And then obviously Saris to strip, and then our dude Michinaki. Did I get it right? Yes, okay, cool. I've been having a hard time remembering his name for whatever reason. And then he would come in here as our nuker. So let's come in here and do a run so you can actually see his damage in a reasonable situation. We're going to do increase attack. We have people in stone skin, but we have 2 buff strips. And that is a very cool aspect about his kit. So we can come in here and try to strip. Okay, we didn't do so good. And then the nice thing is his most damaging ability is this ability. Okay, the decreased defense does. Why isn't it showing it? Okay, that's weird. Whatever. The decreased defense ability does not do as much damage. So let's come in here and see if we can kill the Duchess. My suspicion is no. Right, okay. So you can see we did pretty decent damage on Mithrala, but not Duchess, right? And so that is just not good enough. You know what I mean? If I put somebody else in here, I'm pretty sure when I put Baron in here, I just one-shot this team. And granted, Baron's one of the best damage dealers in the game, but it's just like a comparison so that you have an idea. Like a normal, good damage dealer with good multipliers would be able to kill at least somebody from the team, right? Even if not the whole team, but we didn't. Now, if I can find, there's one team on the test server that's not like crazy defensive. Who was it? Nub? Actually, I think Nub's faster than me. Or my team is not speed tuned well enough. It wasn't that one. It was this one. Okay, I have no idea whose defense this is, but on a team that's not super defensive, we can beat them with him as our damage dealer. And I'll go ahead and show you his stats next. But even though he's not an arena nuker, that doesn't mean I don't think he's good. I still think he's great, and I'm going to show you. So here, we should be able to kill them, right? Okay, so if you just need like a damage dealer, or you have a team that's going to run 2 damage dealers, he's perfect, okay? I do have him in a bit of a hybrid build, so let me show you that. Right over here. Okay, so I have him in Savage and crit damage. So his stats are decent. Okay, 5.2k defense, 222 speed, 272 crit damage, and 326 accuracy. I could take that accuracy and boost the defense or the crit damage, but like those are pretty solid stats. Like if you put those stats on another better damage dealer, they're gonna kill people, okay? And especially because he's in Savage and crit damage. Now, when the new set comes out, Defiant, that could be a great set for him as well, with boosting the defense and then taking less AoE damage. But I think his main spot is going to be, of course, Faction Wars. He can be your decreased defense champion wherever, though, right? Because this ability here, the decreased defense, like that's just 100% decreased defense, and then decrease attack, who cares? But he can do that for you if you need in like one of your 3v3 teams. And that's a possibility for you as well. So I think he has a lot of uses. I think obviously he's going to speed you up in Faction Wars, especially if you don't have Genzen here, because Genzen's the only other one in the faction who places decreased defense. So now we have a second option. Admittedly, they're both legendaries. But I think his main place that you are going to want to use him is in the Hydra clan boss. Okay, so I would say hard and normal would be his best uses. I don't know if I would want to use him in Brutal or Nightmare. I couldn't think of a team that he would go in for Brutal and Nightmare, so that's why I was working on hard, okay? So here's a team that I came up with for hard. And keep in mind, this is a different rotation. Not that it really matters, but like, we don't have the Fear Head in there, so I don't really have like a good counter for that in this team because it's not a starting head. So we have our decreased defense, decreased attack, and Michinaki. We have the Hex and the Cleanse to pair with him in Mithrala. I think that those two pair really well together. We have War Chief as our provoker to keep the cleanse head locked down. We have Drex as another damage dealer, which I need to pause the video here and double check that he has gear on. We have block buffs and a little bit of damage from Umbral, and then Godseeker is going to provide a little bit of healing, a revive in case somebody dies. But this is a great example of a team who you don't really need a reviver on. You just need healers because they're all built defensively, right? There's no attack-based damage dealers here. So let me double check the gear on Drex, and then we'll come back. Okay, Drex has gear, but I did end up switching the lead. His accuracy is a bit low, so I put Mithrala in the lead instead of Michinaki. And I think that my team is built defensively enough that I probably don't need Godseeker in here, or at least I could have her built for damage, but I think that makes the team a little bit more relatable, I guess, to not have another damage dealer in here. So let's come in here to hard and take a look and see what's going on with this run. So I have Mithrala as the fastest one here to open with Hex. And then that way, when we do the decreased defense, it's going to give us decreased attack as well, okay? Now, War Chief is the possibility of weak hitting, but Usually he's pretty good, and then we'll put block buffs up. So that's kind of our general setup for the run. And then you can see we do have this, what is it? That Brimstone Blessing, I actually have, wait, who do I have Brimstone on? I'm not exactly sure who I have Brimstone on, but I have Brimstone on somebody. Let me scoot myself over there a little bit so you can see better, and then we'll extend those buffs. I'm not sure that I have enough resistance to, like, resist if the other head comes into play. However, that head is not currently in. I actually don't remember that head's name. So we had a team up there, okay? And that put the HP burn on the Head of Wrath. And I think that that's just a really amazing bonus. I love that part of his kit, and I think that it's super cool. Now, there's a lot of options for this team, but this is just one, right? This is just one, and then we would want to focus on the Head of Decay over here. If we need to, we can remove buffs, but for now, I'm just going to put damage on people and keep the Hex up. We're going to try to keep the Provoke the whole time, since there's some weak hits. We can provoke with Umbral, but that is not a situation where you want to. And you see with our current setup, this is pretty good for survivability. We took a bunch of big hits there, and we're okay. We're okay. Because our whole team is built defensively. And I think that every person on here is booked. Okay, we didn't get it. Well, oof. We didn't get it with Drex, and we didn't get it with Warchief. So, do I want to provoke here? I think that I do. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. One of the great things about Umbral, though, is that she has a 2-turn provoke, and that is really, really uncommon. So, let me go ahead and... I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you want me to show the whole run here, or do you like me fast forwarding through this? I would really love to know. So if you would tell me that, it would be great and helpful. Let's try to get HP burn here. Yeah, we got it. Right on. That would be great and helpful to tell me your preferences, what you appreciate in my setup of my videos. That would be great. I would love to hear that from you guys. And again, we have no buffs to remove, so we're going to keep doing this. So I think I'm just going to skip ahead. We'll keep this video a little bit shorter, and we'll come back in a second. Okay, well, we wiped. I don't think Godseeker was properly equipped for the Hydra. So I've come in and I've replaced her with Arbiter, who I know is properly equipped. And we're gonna go and do this run again. Godseeker, I think she was the first to die. So that when your reviver is the first to die, that's not a good sign. So we had a decent damage output, but I wouldn't say that, you know, she was prepared for this fight. So I put Arbiter in here instead, so that we can just, you know, get through this. But we also don't have any crazy damage dealers in here either. We just have a little bit of damage from everyone. So this isn't like a super short run. That Brimstone, though, very, very helpful. Very helpful. And then I think we should be good with Arbiter here. And we will come back in, you know, in a minute. But I wanted to let you know what's going on, because so you wouldn't be confused. So I'll come back at you in a minute, and we'll see the damage output here. One of the things that I want to mention as we pop a couple heads here is that this stupid Head of Suffering, I actually think this is my least favorite head. and I think that he needs a nerf. Because if you look, you can see, like, all of the other heads are dead, and he is still at half health. That's how tanky he is, and that is unreasonable. Unlike Nightmare and Brutal, the majority of my failed runs come from me not being able to free somebody from this head. And I think that that is, just simply put, ridiculous. Now, obviously here, we're okay, because it's hard, but that should not be the case. Like, I shouldn't be, like, worried about having enough damage when I can easily get damage from somewhere else. You know what I mean? So, anyway, now we have to deal with the Fear Head, but you can see that the damage is fine and good. If I run out of time for this recording, I might have to back out because we are already getting into quite a bit of time here for this video. But I'm going to pause and then we'll come back in a second. As the Fear Head's about to die here, just a couple like tips and tricks for you. If you don't have a good counter to the Fear Head, just don't target him very often. You know, we don't really need War Chief right now. And then, of course, we will have to target with the AoEs. But like Arbiter doesn't have to target there. She can never get feared. We just don't use her AoE. And so that was real nice. Double pop there. And then we're about to pop these other two as well in just a second. I think we'll just place this over here. Get it? But I just wanted to mention that because I feel like a lot of people just overvalue the Fear Head and how much impact it has on your team. But you can just not target it with your support champions. You could see us skipping turns there, which you're going to have. Like, it's unavoidable, and you're going to get some fears, but it is possible to be successful without that, okay, as we skip like 3 turns. I mean, but that's, you know, that's not normal. That's a little bit RNG, but you'll have that, right? Okay, so you can see here, we reached the 1 key mark. We're really not in any kind of danger of dying. We have another head dead. We're more likely to lose this fight to getting someone consumed. So I would say, other than that, we could just keep going and going. I don't know that that's really necessary. I think with this amount of time in the fight, we can easily compare the damage and see how well he did. I think I would expect Drexthar to have the most damage because he's the one been getting the HP burns up consistently, and HP burn does a lot of damage to these heads. So I think Drexthar would have more damage, plus he is built in sort of a damaging setup. So let's go ahead and back out here and see what the damage is. No! Haha! Let's go! Michinaki, 8.3 million. Mithrala, 3.7. Warchief, nothing. Drexthar, 5.4. Umbral, 2.3. And Arbiter, 1.4 from the Brimstone and then some Weekend and all that stuff. But wowzers, that's awesome. So Michinaki carrying this team. You could put somebody else in there, but remember, he's doing damage and decreased defense, which is great, okay? And our damage is a little bit spread out. So I love him. I think he's a really great option. He's not going to be your arena nuker, but he does have a lot of applications and is a super great combo with Mithrala. So what did you guys think of this breakdown for Michinaki? Do you love my Skeletor friend here as much as I do? Let me know in the comments below. Would you be excited to pull him on your account or not? And where else would you use him in the game? Thank you for watching. I'm MtgJedi. I hope you have a wonderful day. Check out some other videos on my channel and subscribe. Why not? Where's my ending? There we go. See you later.